Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, psychic channel, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. And I'm here with my psychic development tip number 45. This tip is about the psychic art called telepathy. Telepathy is a very interesting psychic skill that you see at work all around you every day, all the time. Have you ever admired something that someone was wearing, thinking, how pretty is that? And then they touched the item that you were admiring? Or a friend popped into your mind, and a few minutes later they called you? Or have you fretted about not having enough milk for coffee, and later your spouse came home with a quart of milk saying, I thought we might be getting low on milk? These are simple examples of telepathy, and they are so very, very common. We all experience these things and more every single day. In fact, most of us have become so accepting of our telepathy at work that we just chalk it up to chance instead of recognizing it for what it is. This, my friends, is a psychic skill, and yes, you already possess it, and it's called telepathy. It's so common that we all take it for granted. All of us are what I call receptive telepaths. Imagine for a moment that we all possess a sort of radio antenna that is programmed to be sensitive to all that concerns us. That's essentially what the receptive part of your telepathy is like. When someone is thinking a thought that concerns you, you unconsciously pick up that thought, and you often act on it. That's why in the above examples, the person looked at the pretty item they were wearing when you admired it, or why you thought of your friend just before they called you, and why your spouse brought home that milk. The key word in this observation, though, is unconsciously, because one of the reasons it's difficult for people to recognize and develop their telepathy skill is that although they use it all the time, they use it unconsciously. So the very first challenge when you're trying to develop your telepathic skill is to bring it to conscious awareness. When I teach my beginning level students in my Psychic Development Level 1 class, I encourage them to create a do-good book, a sort of journal. I have them write into that journey all of the psychic experiences that they have each day. Many of those psychic experiences, as you can see, are telepathic. Keeping your do-good book, or if you would rather call it your psychic journal or your telepathy record, or whatever works for you, is a very good way to start waking yourself up to recognizing when your telepathy is working. As you look back over each day and record these examples, you'll soon begin to find that they increase in frequency and that you begin to recognize them even as they are occurring. That's, of course, exactly what you want. You want to be able to recognize when you are using your telepathy. It's also a good idea to begin a meditative practice of some kind. That could be moving meditation like Tai Chi Chuan or Qigong, or yoga to calm your mind, or sitting meditation if that's something that comes naturally to you. You see, it's much, much easier to recognize an incoming thought when your mind is calm. It's like your mind becomes a pool of still water. I love this image. My guide showed it to me years ago, and I use it in my own meditations. It's like your mind becomes a pool of still water that can readily feel someone else's thought, just like one drop of water hitting the surface of that still water. You know that that drop is not self. And if your mind is still, that's how it feels to receive someone else's thought. It's that drop of something other that just touches. Only when you can recognize that a thought you are thinking is not your own can you choose to accept it or not. Think for a moment about how important that is to the life you want to lead. Think about how much rain falls into that still pool of water that in yourself is not such a still mind. And then you'll realize just how much you and your life are affected by other people's thoughts. Telepathy is alive and well among us. You have it. You are a telepath. You just have to wake up and recognize that fact. I'm Sandy Anastasia. Visit me on my website at www.sandyanastasia.com to find out more about me and my work and to hear more psychic development tips. I'll be back soon with another tip. Bye-bye for now.